What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Live Game, episode 180. This is the Average Man's Perspective on Football. I am your co-host, Marcus.
I'm the GOAT.
The GOAT.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Really?
Yeah, undisputed.
Undisputed?
Next up, we got Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
You are a hater.
And last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
And me, I'm 56 years old. Damn! I'm sorry.
Brian couldn't join us tonight. We hope he'll be back next week. Thinking of him and praying for him. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You catch us on our Facebook page on The Live Game. Catch us on X at The Live Game 3, on Instagram at The Official The Live Game, and on TikTok at The Live Game 91. You can also catch us on the Aboriginal Sports Network. We broadcast over there at the same time we broadcast here. So going over there and check those guys out. They do a little bit of everything, football, basketball, wrestling. They do it all over there. Go check out the Aboriginal Sports Network. Herman is hosting tonight. Oh, by the way, you weren't here last week. I'm sure you guys noticed. Had a week off, but we're back. Herman is hosting. Go ahead and start us off, Herman.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you joining us tonight. We're gonna do the Eagles and Giants pick first, and we'll get into our news stories. We're gonna do a few, some hot topics this week since we don't have games to review from last week, and then we'll pick the rest of the games at the end, and we'll get you up out of here. So thanks for joining us, and hold on tight. All right, so let's get into this Eagles Giants game. Brian has decided to pick the Eagles. Let me real quick, let me pull it up. The Eagles are 75. The predictor has the Eagles winning at 75%. Brian has chosen the Eagles. Mark, who you got in this one?
I am taking the Steagles also. The Steagles.
Why do we call them the Steagles? I'm confused.
I have no idea.
Back in the military, they had combined the Steelers and the Eagles together, and they call them the Steagles. But
During World War II.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Marcus, who you taking?
So, a couple weeks ago, I was hyping up the Giants, and they did beat the Chargers. But I remember I had them as I named three players: Jackson Dart, Scatterboo, and Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is hurt, so I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles. I don't have as much faith in them with only two of those guys, so I'm going with the Eagles. Even though the Eagles suck.
Well, you said what the Eagles suck.
The Eagles suck.
Man, I'm tempted, but I don't want to wear that hat. Y'all know Jalen Carter. He's out tonight, the nose tackle, and teams have been running against them anyway. So you know what?
I'll tell you what, Herman. If you pick the Giants, I'll take my pick. Pick the Giants. I'll go with you.
Nah, you ain't gotta change your pick.
Because I really want to pick the Giants, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
I'm bold enough to do it, but not this week. Give me the Eagles. I ain't messing with that. Okay.
Watch the Giants. Like I won't be surprised if the Giants win.
Me either. I wouldn't either. But
to be honest with you, I wouldn't be too surprised either. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that 54%. I think that 75% by the predictor is a little bit too high. To be honest with you.
I think they ran that predictor before they had the dreaded. It wasn't a team meeting. It was some players meetings. But we're going to talk about that a little later on one of our hot topics. But it's week 6 and they meeting already, so something's not right. But yeah, we'll get a little bit into that later. Let's go back to our news stories now. Marcus, you can go ahead and read your news story of the week.
Thank you, Herman. Joe Flacco has only been a Cincinnati Bengal for 24 hours. It's all the time Zach Taylor needed to name the 40-year-old veteran the starter for Week 6, which is crazy to me. Flacco will lead the Bengals into Green Bay this Sunday against the Packers. The Bengals head coach confidently announced Wednesday. Flacco brings great experience, great leadership. His style fits our style of play too, Taylor said. Excited to get him out there. We'll start him this week, so he's going to take all the reps, get ready to go. Already spent a lot of time meeting with us, getting up to speed, so we feel good about where he's at. Flacco's arrival seems to invigorate Taylor, who displayed a new sense of conviction and excitement when speaking about the 18-year, NFL veteran on Wednesday. The reasoning, Teller said, is simple. Flacco has nearly 20 years of NFL experience, still has a capable arm, and already faced the Packers just a few weeks ago. A midweek trade doesn't leave a team much time to get a new quarterback up to speed on the intricacies of an offensive scheme. But Taylor believes Flacco's wealth of experience was a Tuesday evening over-the-phone cramming session completed while Flacco was being driven from Cleveland to Cincinnati to be present well enough for Sunday. I think it's a huge mistake.
Driven. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this one too a little later, but
Huge mistake.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Cleveland.
That's crazy. He had to drive like somebody drove him. I guess it's that close. He ain't fly.
It ain't that far.
It's what, 2 hours, something like that.
You know, that's a little bit more because Cincinnati's already at the bottom, Cleveland's already at the top. So probably about maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, I think I would have been flying. Like, you gonna fly me, you gonna drive me in no car.
Probably was a nice day in Ohio that day. You know?
Whatever, man. That seemed like
road trip.
It better have been like one of them luxury buses or something like that. You know what I mean? You know, but all right, I'm gonna get into my story, and this story goes along with Sunday's with tonight's game. Actually, a new documentary about Saquon Barkley revealed the running back requested a trade from the New York Giants during a phone call with owner John Mara in the summer of 2023. The Prime Video documentary Saquon, which was produced by Martin Scorsese and will be released Thursday before the Giants host the Philadelphia Eagles, shows Barkley asking for the trade on July 17th, 2023, the day the deadline passed for him to sign a long-term deal after the Giants had placed the franchise tag on Barkley several months earlier. The All-Pro running back played for the Giants during the 2023 season. He signed with the Eagles as a free agent the following year and led them to a Super Bowl title in his first season with the Giants' rival, a decision that left Mara, quote, sick. The lengthy negotiations spanning almost 2 years prompted the trade request. Quote, I want to run something by you real quick, Barkley said in the phone call conversation in the documentary. I've just seen the offer. I just talked it over with my agent. Once again, I appreciate that, but I brought this up to General Manager Joe Schoen a couple times, and he kind of declined me. He said ownership won't allow it. It's obviously clear I don't think we're going to get to a place where we can agree on a deal. So would you allow me permission to seek a trade? So he asked for a trade, and the Giants could have probably got 2 first-round picks for Barkley, if not a first and a third. They could have got something. And here they are with nothing. They'll get a comp pick. If they probably already got it. Yeah, they should have got the comp pick this last draft, I believe. But it just shows you that the Giants, the ownership in the front office, what were they doing?
See, I kind of disagree. I mean, we can say, Giants messed up. Saquon wasn't going to be utilized correctly. He wouldn't have won a Super Bowl. He wouldn't have got 2,000 yards in New York. So it's kind of like, you know, I compare it to the Micah Parsons trade, actually. You know, it's looking like now that Jerry Jones was correct. And I would say he was right. You know?
I think it's too early to say that right now. And the thing is,
we'll see with the picks. We'll see what he does with the picks.
Well, yeah, but there was a big difference though between Barkley and Micah, and the big difference was Barkley was one of the leaders on the Giants, and he showed a lot. I think he showed a lot more leadership. And the thing is that when you're at that type of impasse, and you have that opportunity and he asked for that trade, you got nothing for him at this point now, except for, like I said, a comp pick. Mm-hmm. You could have gotten at least one first rounder, I believe. Now, granted, you're talking about had he stayed there, yeah, he may not have rushed for 2,000 yards because they didn't have necessarily the line, but
he definitely wouldn't have won a Super Bowl.
We know that because that team just wasn't put together for that. But him being there would have took a lot of pressure off the quarterback. And then, I mean, look at Daniel Jones now. So
that's true.
We're talking about
it's an organization.
What is coaching doing?
Exactly.
Look
at Daniel Jones and look at Saquon Barkley. Organization problem.
Yeah, it very well could be, and that's what I'm saying. What are the Giants doing? Mark, you still there? Or you froze out again? All right, he's struggling with his connection a little like. And it's his turn to do the news.
Read Brian's story.
All right, Brian's story. Former NFL quarterback and current, well, I bet he ain't current no more, and current sports color commentator Mark Sanchez.
It's officially got fired.
I mean, he's gonna get fired after this, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Who was arrested for multiple misdemeanors following a physical altercation this weekend, is now facing a felony charge of battery involving serious bodily injury, prosecutors in Indianapolis announced. The more serious charge was added after investigators learned the severity of the victim's injuries. Marion County prosecutor Ryan Mears said at a news conference on Monday. This was a situation that did not need to occur, Mears said. The allegations involving the 38-year-old man becoming involved in an altercation with a 69-year-old man who sustained significant and very serious injuries over a dispute about Sanchez was arrested at the hospital and initially charged with 3 misdemeanors: battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication, police said. Sanchez has waived an initial court hearing set for Tuesday for the misdemeanor charges. A pretrial conference hearing has been set for November 4th for the updated case. Mayor said, that's a little off, I think.
I think you got a bit mixed up. Yeah, just go straight to the sentence.
Yeah, the sentence for the felony charge could be 1 to 6 years, and the victim has filed a civil suit against Sanchez and Fox already. How Fox got anything to do with it? Right.
He wasn't on company time. He wasn't on company time. That's a lawyer. That's a lawyer involved.
Yeah.
Let's assume both get paid.
You got to go high so you can get, what you want.
They figure Fox got more money than Sanchez. So
yeah. Mark, you there? You ready for your story?
I guess that's enough. Mark,
he's moving around. He's moving.
Mark, you want to leave and come back in? I'll read the story.
Oh wait, there is he. Mark,
can you hear me?
Yes,
now we can. Yeah.
Read your story.
You're a little delayed.
He must have got a new internet service. I'll read the story.
You got his old one back.
Can you hear me?
We hear you. Raiders head coach Pete Carroll did not seem happy with offensive coordinator Chip Kelly's play calling last week, saying the Raiders needed to help quarterback Geno Smith by calling more running plays. Today, Kelly said he tried to do that, but last week when the Raiders lost 40-6, they ended up throwing the ball more because they were so far behind. That's what our game plan is every game, Kelly said. We had 25 rushing attempts last week in the game. There was real balance in the first half of the football game when it was a close game. I think it gets out of hand, so you look at some of the numbers. I think we had 25 rushing attempts and 36 pass attempts at the end of the game, but the first half, it was really even. Smith's numbers in the game were not good. 25 for 36 for 228 yards with no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But Kelly said that only one of Smith's throws was a bad read and that Smith played better than his stats indicated. Besides the one throw in the second half, Geno was really comfortable, Kelly said. I think Geno's playing really well for us. The Raiders are 1-4 and on a 4-game losing streak, but Kelly said he remains confident that Smith can play well in his offense as he did when the Raiders beat the Patriots in Week 1.
That's the same old Chip Kelly stuff right there, but I guess you're going to see how that one works out. Yeah, Geno can't be throwing.
Was I good?
Oh, no, Geno just can't be throwing that much. They got this rookie phenom running back. You got to stay in games so you can run the football.
Well, when you get that far behind, ain't no more running.
Yeah,
you get that far behind.
That's true.
That's the news. And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. All right. I don't. Let's see. I guess it's a 2-man show till Mark gets back. All right. Let's move into the hot topics. So the first hot topic tonight we're gonna discuss. Oh, there he is. Maybe his feet will be better. Let's see.
I guess you know by the way this thing taking so long to come in.
I don't know. He usually he there we go.
He changed locations, but he's still stuck. Mark,
No, he's moving.
Mark, do some sound lyrics, Mark.
He was moving. All right. Let him.
Jump in when you can, Mark. Jump in when you
Yeah,
can.
just jump in when you can. All right, let's get into the first hot topic. So, what has been the biggest surprise for you so far this season? That's the question. I'm gonna start this one off.
Does it have to be just one? Or can it be a couple?
I mean, I guess for you it could be a couple, but I'm only doing one. This is my biggest surprise, right? All right. This team is 31st in total defense, 31st in passing defense, 29th in run defense, 32nd in scoring defense, 31st in red zone defense, and 30th in sacks.
You're talking about one or two teams,
Who you think it is?
either Baltimore or Dallas.
It is the Baltimore Ravens. Brett, this was blowing my mind when I looked at the record. I was like, okay, that's a big surprise, right? So I'm like, let me go look at some of this stuff. For them to be ranked this low in the NFL in defense, like the Ravens, they won a Super Bowl from a defense. Their defense has always been up there. And for them to be 1-4 right now and a defense with these numbers, I mean, they're ranked almost worse. Actually, the only other team that was ranked worse, I think, in some of these categories was Dallas. And Dallas is 2-1. But the Ravens are 1-4. They're not running they're not running Henry. Derrick Henry. I'm calling him Mark Henry.
Because they get down so bad.
Yeah, but they're not running them at the beginning of the games either, it doesn't seem like to me. And just it's flabbergasting to see that their defense is this bad right now. It's crazy to me. But with those rankings, it's no wonder that their defense is that bad. You know, let him in. It looks like he's moving good now. You back now? Oh Lord, maybe not. All right. So my biggest surprise is we can't hear you.
Okay, I can hear him. He just says,
Oh, I didn't hear him.
Might be a delay, though.
Okay. So my biggest surprise is the 1-4 Baltimore Ravens with the 31st ranked total defense, 31st pass defense, 29th run defense, 32nd scoring defense, 31st red zone defense, and 30th in sacks. So they're at the bottom of the league in basically all the important stats in the NFL. So that's my biggest surprise of the season so far. Marcus, who's yours?
So I got a couple. So biggest surprise, I got to agree with you on the Ravens. That's a huge surprise of how bad they're doing. Next big surprise is Daniel Jones and the Colts, how good they're doing and how Daniel Jones is like a totally different quarterback, in the MVP conversation. It's amazing to see what they are doing. And also the biggest surprise is, and of course it's a team I hate, but I have to admit, I didn't expect the Cowboys to look this good. Offensively, Cowboys look great.
Yeah, offensively.
Dak is looking like an MVP. They're 2-1, but they were. They had a tie with Green Bay. Could have won that one. I feel like they could have beat the.
Could beat the Eagles.
Could have beat the Eagles. Who else did they lose to?
They lost to the Bears. Should have beat the Bears.
Definitely could have beat the Bears. Definitely it could have beat the Bears. So when they announced Schottenheimer as the new head coach, I was like, oh, they're going to suck. Defensively, yes, they do. Might need to get rid of that DC, but offensively, I have to admit they are on point. And as we speak right now, Dak is probably the best quarterback. He's definitely the best quarterback in the NFC East, and maybe best quarterback in the league right now at this moment in week 5, week 6.
Yeah.
So that's a big surprise. I hate them, but I'll give them their props. They're if you watch the games, they're looking hella good. So that's a big surprise.
Yeah, if they can if the defense can straighten up some, it could be a problem, but that's a big if. All right, Mark. Who you got? What's your biggest surprise so far this season?
Well, you guys took a little bit of my thunder with the Ravens picking. I thought they'd be a lot better than what they've been putting out in the field. Keep in mind, injuries have played a part of it, but it just doesn't look nothing like the Raiders team that we've seen before. They just seem to don't come out and play as with the Raiders style or the Ravens, defense that normally they step out with. My second surprise are the Indianapolis Colts. I'm surprised on how well they're playing. Daniel Jones entered the season being 3-13 from last year, and he's setting the world on fire. Look like an MVP right now. So I'm definitely surprised. It's almost like them two teams kind of like switch roles. We thought that the Ravens would be up top and the Colts would be down the bottom. Now it's like it's flipped. I'm surprised about that. And then the next team I'm gonna have to say is I'm surprised that they're doing as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield. The rookie wide receiver they got, Ibuka, is tearing it up. Baker is playing good, and they're winning close games. The things that surprised me about them is how they're doing it. They're not taking any excuse. They're not using any excuses. They just go on for it and they capitalize and doing well with it. So my three surprises definitely the Ravens, the Colts, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One other thing I'm gonna say about the Colts are we're about to find out how well they are. The next couple of games they have, of course, they have the Chargers, the Steelers, Kansas City Chiefs, Jacksonville, Seattle coming up after this week. So we'll find out exactly what the Colts are about pretty soon.
I feel like they could beat any of them teams. To be honest.
Honestly, I think so. I feel that way too.
They play like it. They definitely play like it. They do.
But here's the thing. I don't know how surprised we should be about Tampa Bay. They've won the NFC South 4 years in a row. So I don't know how surprised we should be.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised about Tampa, honestly. But
why I say that is look how they winning with a rookie wide receiver that they throwing like he's been there for a couple of years. That's what I'm surprised about.
He did have to step in and fill some big role, and he still is, I guess, with Evans being gone down now, but with Godwin's back. So, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. But I kind of expected them to be 1 or 2 in the South. I think I picked them to be second, but I get what you're saying too when it comes to that. So I can see that.
I mean, I am surprised by how they're winning these games. Baker's playing lights out. I mean, that's the kind of football. I mean, it's an anxiety attack if you're a Tampa Bay fan, but
definitely, yeah.
But they're winning those games. So that's how they're winning. Surprised me. The fact they're winning doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. All right, let's move into our next hot topic. I'm gonna skip this second one. I'm gonna go into this third one. We'll go back to the second one. What?
I had queued that one up. No, go ahead, but I had queued that one up.
Oh, well, sorry. you want to go back to it? You want to?
No, we go.
Okay. So, because this was Marcus's news story, so I want to touch on this one. Can Joe Flacco save the Bengals season? The 18-year vet. What say you, Marcus?
I would say no. I mean, unless it's a case of different team. If it's a Dan Jones type situation, different team, different organization. Bad circumstances. New scheme, new attitude. But it's the freaking Bengals. It's the Bengals. So how much better can he do there than he was doing in Cleveland? And it's Flacco. He's old. Okay, he still has the arm, but he's stationary. He's not going to be moving around a lot. I just feel like, why not go for Jameis? I mean, I feel like Jameis Winston could probably give you more of a Joe Burrow type of play than Flacco can. I just don't see it. I just feel like there were other options out there. Like I said, Jameis being one. Maybe even would have traded for Russ because I don't think he's gonna be starting anymore. I don't know. Of all the quarterbacks out there, you look at Joe Flacco and it's like, let's grab him. I mean, good for Joe Flacco for being able to pull it off and the team still wanting him. And I know Zach. He's a professional head coach. I'm not. Maybe he sees something I don't. But from a fan's perspective, I would have went for Jameis or someone else. I definitely wouldn't have went for Flacco. So no, I don't. Plus, I don't think. Let me be clear. Jameis couldn't have saved the Bengals season. They just could have maybe put in a better effort. Won a couple of games. They still might lose. He might have added a couple of wins on the end, but the season is still lost. Bengals are terrible. So no, I don't think Joe Flacco can save the Bengals season. I don't think anybody, unless Tom Brady came out of retirement, could have saved the Bengals season.
What say you, Mark?
No, Joe Flacco will not save the Cincinnati Bengals. They are too far down right now to have him pull them up. It's just like what you said, Mark. You got to worry about keeping him upright more so than anything else. I think he does still have enough arm to get the passes downfield to Chase.
Real quick, I want to disturb you,
Higgins.
Jackson. I don't mean to disturb you, but Jackson Dart just scored, ran it in. Giants can win this game. Giants can win this game.
Yeah, boy,
You might have picked wrong.
You already picked the Eagles.
I know. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was saying that. Joe Flacco. He's 40, right? He I think he has enough to give you maybe 3 or 4 more wins and all, but to sustain the rest of the season, to get them pushed in, to at least give them in the playoffs, I don't see that. Their defense is not strong enough to carry this team for one, and they're going to be playing from behind on a lot of games. So Flacco could, he pad up some passing stats and some yards and maybe get a couple of touchdowns, but no, I think they far on. Just kind of like what you said, Marcus. I don't think there's a quarterback right now other than Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, somebody like that can save this team right now. I don't see Joe Flacco saving them. So, no.
Yeah. Will it be an upgrade? Yes. Definitely an upgrade because they could not continue to roll out Jake Browning. You have 2 weapons on the outside that if you can get the ball to them, they're big playmakers. I went and looked at Browning was sacked like 9 times, and Flacco was actually sacked 9 times in Cleveland too. So
in one game or total?
No, total for the year.
Oh.
Yeah. So if the Bengals can keep that up, and you throw in Flacco who can read coverages because he's a vet, so he's going to be able to see things that Browning could only dream probably about seeing. But I'm not going to say he can save the season, but I think that he might get him close. It's definitely an upgrade. I think that I agree with you. Like maybe should have went for Winston or even Russ. I thought the same thing. We talked about it in our group chat, but they had to do something, and maybe they just went with the cheaper option who knows the division too. You know what I mean? So
and also I don't know how eager the Commanders would be to part with Mariota.
Oh no, they wouldn't part with him.
No, I don't think.
No,
I don't think you want to do that now.
I think that what the Bengals should have did was they should have got a backup in the offseason, somebody who was a little bit more seasoned. Even though Browning did okay last year, this year, man, it's just I don't know, man. It just ain't there. But you got the offense, like their offense, they have the weapons that they could probably carry the team if they could just get that offense going. So he can't save their season, but I will say that he's going to give it some type of breath of life. I'll put it that way.
Hey, what about this one? Maybe they should have traded for Shador.
I think too inexperienced. I mean, you You don't want that. Then you don't want that behind Joe Burrow, because after this season, I
Yeah,
think
true.
the fans are going to start to say, like if you go when you go into the draft next year, the Bengals might have to draft a quarterback.
They
Yeah, Joe Burrow has been hurt like every other year.
I mean, that's true, but it's Joe Burrow.
Darren's got a good point right there. You definitely have to hold on to the solid backup at this point.
And I tell you another thing that hurting the Browns too. They don't have a running game. Their running game is
You mean the
terrible.
Bengals?
The Bengals, yeah.
I'm sorry, the Bengals, right? They don't have a running game right now. Chase Brown is not tearing it up like he did last year. As you know, the running game is a quarterback's best friend. If you can run the ball, then you're able to do a lot of play action off that. But they have not been able to run the ball.
It's true.
So I'm going to say this, and a lot of times so besides the quarterback and the two wide receivers, and I think, and I may be wrong, I may have misheard this, but Burrow, Chase, and Higgins, they account for, I may be wrong with this number, at least 60% of their salary cap.
It's high. It's
high.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, besides those three, the rest of the team is garbage.
No, they have a good tight end.
Do they?
They do have a good tight end. I don't know about their line. I know it leaks during the games. It leaks a lot. But yeah, when you have a lot of your cap invested in the three players, it is true. It's hard. But the thing that's harder is when one of those three is always hurt, and Burrow has been hurt a lot, and that's why I say the Bengals might have to start thinking about drafting a quarterback next year in a draft.
I mean, if they're thinking that, and we got to see who's coming out next year, then I still go, maybe we should have traded for Shador. I mean, if they want to go that, I mean, so let's define save the season. What do we do? What exactly is saving the season? Making the playoffs?
Putting them in the playoffs, at least. Yeah,
Making the playoffs, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the minute Burrow went down, the playoffs was off the board anyway. To be honest with you.
Well, it was with Jake Browning.
I think with anybody in there. I mean, when Burrow is healthy, he's a top 5 quarterback. He'll get you there just off of him alone. I think the minute Burrow went down, there was no playoffs. Anyway, and what was their record when he went down?
They were 2-0.
Oh,
I believe they were 2-0.
Yeah,
They've dropped 2. They dropped 3. I think they're already 2-3 now. Look at their stats real quick.
The minute he went down, it was over.
Yeah, they were 2-0. Yeah, they're 2-3 now, so they dropped 3 in a row.
Okay.
All right, let's move into our next hot topic, and we'll go back. We'll go to this one. Does defense still win championships? I'll start this one off. I've always been. I've never really felt like the only team that I'm gonna say that I've seen where a defense totally won them the championship, in my opinion, was the Ravens. The year that Trent Dilfer was their quarterback, because their offense was terrible. Their offense was atrocious, and their defense did win them that championship. Other than that, I'm going to say these other teams since then have had good defenses, but their offenses have been really, to me, what's carried the teams, in my opinion. So, well, I'm not going to say defense wins the championships. I will say this. You cannot have a bad defense and win a championship, but you could have an okay defense and a great offense and win a championship. That's how I see it.
Kansas City did it. Kansas City
Exactly. Kansas City did it 2 years in a row. Even though their defense played better in the playoffs, they just had I'm not even going to say they had an okay defense during the season. Their defense was kind of mediocre during the season that they won those Super Bowls. They got better in the playoffs, but I don't think defense wins championships. I think the offense does, and the defense has to be okay to, okay and up. Marcus, you look like you chomping at the bit over there. So let's hear it.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm not sure you need a solid defense throughout the season to win a championship. But I definitely believe defense still wins the championship in the actual game. I mean, we just had the last Super Bowl to talk about. Eagles defense put it on the Chiefs. They won. Defense dominated that game. Dominated. Made it easy for the offense to do what the offense needed to do. When the defense was playing like that, offense could have. You could just walk out there, just whoop-de-doo, whatever we do. So, and I'm not sure. I didn't look up the stats. I don't know what Eagles defense was ranked throughout the season last year. I'm not sure. They weren't ranked low. They might, they were definitely in the middle or higher than that. But in the actual championship game, their defense won them that game. Period. So, yes, defense still wins championships. Does defense throughout the whole entire season need to be great to win championship? Probably not. But in the actual championship game, we got the last game to go by. Defense won that championship. So I would say, yes, defense still wins championships.
What do you think, Mark?
I'm gonna have to stand on the yes on this one too. The old cliche, defense win championship. You definitely need it when it counts. That's when you need it. I think so. Now they've gotten away from a lot of physical hitting on defenses. Now you get flagged, you get fined, you can do that. So it's turning more so a finesse. Defense has to beat you with a lot of pressure. But yeah, I think when it really counts, you got teams scoring left and right. It's 45-45. You need a defense to stop them from getting a touchdown. That's defense. You do need to have a defense that can do it when it counts, when it really matters. You need them to be able to shut something down and put a stop on it. I think the pass rushers we have now, they're more faster. They're more, they lean. They almost look like running backs out there.
They did a lot leaner than they used to be. A lot leaner.
So it's not necessarily the hard hit, the hittings, but you got to be fluid enough that you can get around offensive players and really put pressure on the quarterback. That's defensive pressure in the face. We saw it when Brady played. That defense that the Giants put on him when he got pressure in his face, he didn't like that. He definitely didn't like nobody being close to his knees and his legs. That's for sure. So yeah, I think you got to have defense. I think defense still wins championship for you. So I have to say
also recent, but not that recent. But when Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, like was it 2017, 2018? That was a defensive game. Because the Patriots just scored a lot of points. I think it was like 3-13, something like that. It was a very low scoring game. It was definitely Bill Belichick.
You needed
to shut down the Rams' vaunted offense. And that was when what was it? Todd Gurley was there? Was it Todd Gurley? That was his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They totally shut that thing down.
All right. So you guys think that you need the defense still wins championships, and I'm right that offense wins championships. All right, let's move on to the next hot topic. I think Brian would have agreed with me. Offense wins championships. All right. I want you to name one coach that's on the hot seat, and will they make it through the entire season this year?
We might all pick the same person because I know who I'm picking.
We might not have. I doubt it because I went to left field on this one, I think.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, maybe. Mark, who's your coach that's on the hot seat? You just got to pick one, and do you think he'll make it through the season?
My coach I'm selecting is Bill Callahan for the Tennessee Titans.
He's fairly new, isn't
he? He entered the season kind of shaky anyway. When they hired the GM in January, the GM wasn't a coach. He inherited the coach from his team. So that with that, I don't think that he's the GM coach. He's not the GM. So I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's he's in his third season. He's 4-18 as far as coach, as far as his record.
Jeez.
It's not as good. You know, his record ain't that great. It's not. You're talking about the one game he won. They won that by chance. If the Cardinals didn't blow that up, didn't scoop that up, he didn't win. He didn't win that game for being a brilliant coach. They messed it up because of the fluky play that was in that game. So I think Bill Callahan is probably be the first one that's going to be out. And then when you got a rookie quarterback saying y'all play like asses, that's part of coaching too. That's coaching.
All right, Marcus, who's your coach on the hot seat, and will they make it through the season?
So for me, I think it's pretty obvious. And it's kind of disappointing because I like the guy, but he might be better as a coordinator. Mike McDaniels. I think that's an obvious choice. I think they won last week, but Miami's looking terrible. Tyreek Hill, he may be out for the season. His career may be over. He was the hot young thing when he first started. He had set expectations that first season. I think they were the highest scoring offense. They were looking great, and they haven't repeated since then. And it just seems like maybe the team has, he's not motivating the team anymore. I think he's better as a coordinator. I think you need someone who could command authority. And one thing I've heard watching all these shows and stuff is, you can start out being a tough guy and then loosen up a bit, but you can't start out being a loose guy and then toughen up a bit. And I think that's what happened with McDaniels. You look at him, you don't think, oh, this is a tough coach. This is a coach that commands respect. He looks like an analytics guy. He looks like an IT guy. He's an analytics guy. The guy you call, hey man, my computer doesn't work. That's what he looks like. That's the kind of aura he gives off. I may be wrong. And after that first season, it's just been pretty much downhill since then. They can't win any cold season games. They can't really beat any teams with winning records. They at least before they're beating up on sorry teams. So they can't even do that anymore. I think he will make it through the season. I do think he will make it through the season, but I think probably he's gone after this year, and then he can make his way back to maybe San Francisco as a coordinator, and Shanahan can have his old crew back. So that's my pick, McDaniels.
All right. So my pick, and this is, I think this is an easy one also. My pick is Kevin Stefanski for the Browns because he's in his fifth year as a head coach. Now he's taken them to 2 postseasons. I think he had 2 11 game winning seasons. But the Browns are always the Browns. They just are. Like they're going through this QB carousel now, right? Like, why did you even go with Flacco to start the season? Why not just go ahead and go with the rookie, and then maybe go to Flacco if you needed to, or why not just see what you got with this rookie? You're supposed to believe in him, but you went with Flacco. 4 or 5 games. Now you just traded him out.
Well, if he's a third-round pick, you usually don't expect a third-round pick quarterback to start.
No,
you
don't. But at the same time, then why are you picking him? Why are you picking him third in the third round if there's something else that you could have got? You didn't have a true quarterback. Like you didn't have Deshaun. Flacco wasn't going to make it through the season. Obviously, you didn't think like you weren't all in on Flacco. You should have never took.
Remember they traded for Pickett. Remember?
Ooh, they did.
What happened to him? Where is he now?
They traded him to the Raiders.
They traded him to the Raiders. So that's what I'm saying. He got to go. Stefanski is time. Like it's been 5 years. He got to go. It's time to try something different.
I was reading something today. They're currently paying 8 quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
They're currently paying 8 quarterbacks.
I keep forgetting about Deshaun. Like I forgot he was even on the roster still. They just the crazy thing is if they do hire a new coach, we got to start all over again. Yes, you have to. Is that what you're going to say, Mark? You got to start all over again.
So another quarterback. So they'll be drafting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
You got, and in all honesty, they need to get rid of every quarterback that's on the roster.
But wait a minute, you just drafted Gabriel and Shador.
Whatever.
I'm
Wipe
keeping
the
this too.
slate. No, you're not. Wipe the slate clean. Because every year there's always leftover quarterbacks. Yep. They do the same thing every year.
You give rid of a fifth.
Same thing. I'm getting ready.
A third round pick. That's kind of high, bro. A third round pick.
But that's the previous administration or the previous head coaching system that they shouldn't have never took him with the third. That's my whole point. So you got to start fresh. If I'm ownership, I'm wiping the slate clean.
I get rid of everybody else. I'm keeping Gabriel and Shador.
Nope, I'm not keeping them because you know what we always talk about. As a head coach, you want to be married to your quarterback.
No, I mean you got to start him. You still draft. You can still draft somebody.
There's no point in them being there. I'm gonna draft every quarterback that's on that roster, or pull quarterbacks in that's on that roster. If I'm gonna be the head coach. So I think it's Stefanski. It's time, man. It's been 5 years. I'm surprised he's been there this long. This is the first time that the Browns have actually tried to like stick with it and work through it. It ain't working, bro. It's not working.
Well, what's to speak about Ohio? You know who else might need to go? Zach Taylor might need to go.
Zach Taylor might need to go too. Maybe.
Zach is on the he on the list.
But it's not his fault that Burrow keeps going down, though. He has a legit quarterback that just keeps getting hurt.
That's true.
Right? He has a legit quarterback that just keeps getting hurt. Like, and they were just in the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
3 or 4
years ago. It's been a while, yeah. But Stefanski has to go. All right, let's move on to this last hot topic. Stretch these out pretty good. And this is a good one to talk about since the game is on too. So it's been in the news all week. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown had a quote meeting to discuss their issues on the field, connection issues, AJ not getting the ball, whatever. I think it was just them two. And just before the game came on, they said that they spoke for hours. They talked for a couple hours or whatever. So is this a big deal or is this not a big deal? Mark, I'll let you go first. Is this a big deal or not a big deal?
I mean, I think it's a big deal when you have two of your starting quarterback and your top wide receiver, just only two having a powwow together. Yeah, I think it's a big deal. They traded for AJ Brown, and he's been everything of what they wanted in the number one wide receiver. He's been everything.
When Jalen throws
it's just
the ball.
unfortunate for him. It's fortunate. That's what I'm about to say. The unfortunate thing for him is he don't get the ball thrown to him. And I think that's the biggest thing that he wants. He wants the opportunity to have the ball thrown to him, and he hasn't been given that. And so they just basically airing out. I don't think it's so much of a big deal. I think the media is going to make a big deal more out of it than anything else. I don't think it's such a big deal. I think if them two have any type of grievance, any type of beef, any type of anything, this is the right thing to handle it. To just like, look, let's go one-on-one. Let's have a conversation. What can we do to make this better? And I think that's what they're doing. I don't think it's a great big deal as the media or as other people may push it to be. They're winning, but unfortunately, they're not winning throwing to AJ Brown.
So, Marcus, what you think? Big deal, not a big deal?
I think here's the thing. Yes and no. But my bigger question is, why do we know about this?
The media.
What
I think Saquon actually accidentally leaked this.
You know what? He did make a comment.
Why? Okay, here's the thing. Why does Saquon know?
Well, he's on the team.
Okay, but it was just them two, right? Why can't
he might have been there
AJ come over to Jalen's house, or Jalen go over to AJ's house, or they get on FaceTime? I just don't understand why we need to know about this. They're making it a big deal because we know about it. There is no reason whatsoever we need to know about it.
It's not the question. Is it a big deal or not a big deal? It's not about if we need to know about it.
Then yeah, it's a big deal because they made it a big deal. That's why it's a big deal. Overall, I don't think it's big because I have to believe that quarterbacks and receivers and teammates They talk all the time. They hang all the time. And, I mean, a quarterback sitting down and talking with his top wide receiver about, hey, let's, about the games in the future, let's connect more. What are we missing on? Is not a big deal. But they made it a big deal because AJ always running his mouth, posting stupid stuff on X, and then it gets leaked out. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a big deal. The teammates are talking. I don't care.
This is a meeting.
How long
not just talking?
How do we know if that was the main topic of them having a conversation about?
Oh, it was the main topic. It was. They said they sat in the car for like a couple hours and talked. I think they said. Okay, let's not sugarcoat.
And here's the thing: why shouldn't the biggest problem? Why isn't the OC in it? The OC should be in that conversation. The OC. I mean, because I think so. I think this is more. I think this is more of a play calling issue than AJ and Jalen they're off. It's a play calling issue. Their OC sucks. Sucks.
Let me tell you, if y'all don't think this is a big deal, you're crazy. Okay, because this keeps coming back year after year.
Because
right?
AJ keeps running his mouth.
This is a huge deal, first of all, because now every time Jalen steps on the field, and you say, "Oh, he's a professional," he thinking about, "Damn, I got to try to get the ball to AJ." It's in his mind. All right, he know AJ gonna be side eyeing me if I don't get him the ball. All right, AJ mad. You don't bring in AJ Brown, and he goes a whole game with like the Cowboys game. If they had lost that game, man, that would have been a nightmare for the Eagles. Just because AJ Brown had 2 targets on that game, 1 target on that game. How are you not getting AJ the ball? How are you not forcing AJ the ball? Maybe it's a little bit of play calling. I doubt it. Maybe it could be a little bit of play design. But the bottom line is this is an issue. You don't hear about you never hear CD and Dak are having a meeting. You don't hear that. You ain't heard Jalen.
Maybe because they do it in private. Don't let the whole world know.
Please, that would get out for the Cowboys. Trust me.
Why? Why can't CD go over Dak's house? Dak go over CD's house.
That's different. That they hang out together. Like obviously, Jalen and AJ ain't friends. I don't think that they're really friends like that. Like Dak works with his receivers in the offseason. I don't hear about this with the Eagles. Maybe because the Eagles.
So what you said, he wouldn't invite him over to his house.
He wouldn't invite him over to his house. I don't think he would. I ain't inviting this fool over to my house. The way he be throwing me under the bus because I ain't throwing him the football. But this is a big deal. Let me tell you why. I'm going to give you why too. This is a big deal. Stephon Diggs was complaining about not getting the ball right in Buffalo.
He got sent packing.
Where's Stephon Diggs now? New England. Okay. That's another thing too that makes it interesting is organizations kind of protect their quarterbacks and their top quarterbacks. Why are we doing this again with AJ Brown? This is the 3rd year of this, if I'm not mistaken. Granted, they won the Super Bowl last year. 2 years ago, AJ Brown was reading a book on the sidelines. Remember that?
That was last year. That wasn't 2 years ago.
Was that last year?
I think it was last year.
It was the year they won the Super Bowl. This is a problem. Yeah. So, and this they had a statistic that said that Jalen Hurts has one of the worst completion percentages of quarterbacks with not under pressure throws. Like not under pressure throws. I think it was something like that on the deep ball or something. It was some weird stat, but basically they were saying that like he has problems with zone coverage. But I don't think he trusts AJ, like some other quarterbacks trust their top quarterback. Like some of these quarterbacks, you see him throw, you be like, "What are you doing?" Oh, he went up and got it. Jalen don't trust AJ like that. I don't think. So I think this is a big deal.
You know who you don't hear complaining? Devontae Smith.
He's getting the ball sometimes.
I think AJ should go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it like? Would that be best for them?
I think so. Look what happened when, like you just said, Stephon left. No more issues in Buffalo. Josh,
everybody eating Buffalo.
Everybody happy. Josh won an MVP. AJ need to go.
So it was last year that AJ was reading the book, but yeah,
and you complaining when you're undefeated. Come on, bro.
because he wants
You
the ball.
ain't even got common sense to keep your mouth shut until you start losing games.
They're barely winning those
undefeated.
games.
Doesn't matter.
They're barely winning those games.
Still undefeated.
They're barely winning those games.
What do we say? Winning cures all problems.
Yeah, but you know, when it's obvious that there's a problem with the offense, this, like I said, I think this is a big deal. We're going to be talking about it all year again if he doesn't get traded before the deadline, which they probably won't, because that's just they're not going to do it. They're not going to protect Jalen from AJ. Pretty soon we're going to be here. Like if the offense continues to struggle, like if they lose this game to the Giants and the offense continues to struggle, we're going to hear that there was an offensive players meeting. You know, it's going to be one of the players meeting, the dreaded one. So we'll see. But
y'all see the score of this game?
Yeah, I see it right. I see the scores 13-10. But I think that this is a big deal. So all right, those are our hot topics. Let's get into our game picks for the rest of the week. Let's try to make this a little quick so we can get out of here. We ran long on the hot topics, longer than I thought we would.
We did. We was a long way to do it, boy.
I know. And
I didn't think it was going to last that long.
The longest
how many times we had 5?
Yeah, we had like 5. Look, the longest one, the dude ain't even here. We'd be going to 8:30 if Eddie Kane was here. Yeah, we'll blame him any chance we get. He ain't here to defend himself. All right, so we already picked the Eagles game. Let's roll into the next game. We got the 3-2 Rams going in to take on the 1-4 Ravens, my surprise team of the season. The predictor has the Ravens winning. The Rams are giving up 7.5. The Rams are giving up 7.5 at the Ravens. That is disrespectful right there. And the predictor has the Rams winning it 60% of the time. I'll give Brian's pick. Eddie Kane says he's going with the Rams. Mark, who you got?
Who the Ravens starting quarterback?
It's
Cooper Rush.
What you call it? Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
Marcus?
Obviously, I'm going with my Super Bowl pick. Actually, these are both my Super Bowl picks. These are both my Super Bowl picks. But I'm going with the Rams.
All right. I'm going with the Rams too. The 1-5 Ravens is going to be crazy. That's crazy. All right. Moving into the next game, we got the 3-2 Seahawks traveling into Jacksonville to take on the surprising 4-1 Jags. I don't have the spread on this one. I don't know why. Let's see. Yep, no spread on this one. The predictor has the Seahawks winning this one because this is a toss-up pretty much. The predictor has the Seahawks winning this one 51% of the time. Brian is going with the Seahawks. Mark, who you got in this one?
I picked up Sam Darnold in my fantasy, but the Jags done got a little heart after beating
Chiefs.
Kansas City. I'm going to take Seattle also. I'm taking Seattle on this one.
Interesting. All right. I'm going with the Jags. After they beat the Chiefs, they shocked me. They barely pulled it out because I was watching that game like, man, what are the Jags doing? But they're at home and it's a toss-up, so I'm going with the home team. Give me the Jags. Marcus?
Yeah, the Jags really surprised me on Monday night too. I think and the Seahawks are traveling away from the West Coast to the East Coast, and it's a home game. I probably wouldn't have made this pick early in the season, but I'm gonna have to go with the Jaguars. I'm picking the Jaguars.
All right, we split on that one.
And I mean, everybody knows it because they couldn't stop saying it. But Trevor Lawrence beat the Chiefs on his birthday.
Yeah, it was like the fifth Beatle is going with the Jags too. All right, moving into the next game, we got the 4-1 Lions going into Kansas City to take on the 2-3 Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are actually giving up 1.5 in this one, and the predictor has the Chiefs winning this one 53% of the time. Eddie Kane has chosen the Lions, which is I'm a little surprised at. Marcus, who you got in this one?
So except for the last two games, and they lost the last one, the Chiefs' offense has looked stagnant, but they looked good the last two games. And the last time the Lions were in Kansas City, they beat them. And the Lions, I think they are definitely right now. I think the highest scoring offense. I think they're on par to score more points than I saw a statistics today. Jared Goff is on point to beat Peyton Manning's 2013 career. 52 touchdowns, on yards. So I'm going to go with the Lions. Drinking that blue Kool-Aid.
Interesting. Mark, who you got in this one?
They're playing in Kansas City, but I don't like the way the Kansas City offense is playing. I'm going to take the Lions on this one also. Give me the Lions.
Really? Okay. Cue up my music. The Kansas City Chiefs offense is back. Give me the Chiefs, baby. I will be wearing the smart hat. Yeah, I'm lone wolf in this one.
You just doing that because you're cousin of the Chiefs fan. That's all that.
Nah, he's insufferable, honestly. But I am picking his Chiefs this week. So give me the Chiefs. I think their offense is back. They're at home. I think that the Lions going to be a little slower on that grass. And I think the Chiefs want a little bit of revenge for that game that they lost to the Lions. That was the opener last season. So yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs on that one.
Hey man, right. if your Cowboys had the last decade the Chiefs have, y'all would be insufferable too. So okay.
Moving on to the next game, we got the 4-1 Bills traveling into Atlanta to take on the 2-2 Falcons. The Bills are giving up 4.5 on this one. Eddie Kane is picking the Bills, and I'm along with Eddie Kane picking the Bills. Marcus, who you got in this one?
I'm also taking the Bills, even though I want to root for Penix, but I'm gonna have to take the Bills.
And Mark, who you got in this one?
Bills Mafia. Give me Bills.
No surprise on that one. All right, and our last game, the Monday Nighter, you got the 2-2 Bears traveling into Washington to take on the 3-2 Commandos. Washington is giving up 4.5. We already know who the fifth Beatles taking in this one, and we already know who Marcus, I'm sure, is taking in this one.
You don't know who I'm taking.
We'll ask him anyway. Brian is actually taking the Commandos. Let me put it in. Sorry. Mark, who you taking in this one?
You type mighty hard, sir. You typing hard as hell. You about to break the keyboard.
My microphone's like literally right next.
This is a revenge game for the.
Yeah.
This is a revenge game for the Chicago Bears. They got that game stolen from them last year. I think they can get back on them. Give me the Bears in this one, y'all.
All right. So look, the Washington is petty. They're wearing the actual uniforms that they wore on that game.
Yes.
And the Bears have to wear their exact same uniform basically for that game too. Petty Washington. But I don't believe in Caleb Williams. After the script is up, the script is up. Yeah, so give me the Commandos. I don't even want to pick them, but I have to.
Wow.
Marcus.
So let me say this. I'm not gonna lie. This game definitely frightens me. I feel like it's a trap game. I feel like Mark said, we stole that game last season. I feel like the Bears will be out to get revenge. Our defense is not that great. They play pretty good against the Chargers, but overall they're not that great. But I'm going to have to pick my Commanders, but I'm not going to lie. That game scares the heck out of me.
You're worried about it.
I am very worried about it.
Cue up Mark's music.
Okay.
All right, so the picks are in, and we'll see how everybody does. Mark lone wolfed the Bears, and I lone wolfed the Chiefs. I can't wait to wear the hat on that one. So that's our show for tonight. We'll wrap it up. I don't have a final thought myself. Mark, you have a final thought this week?
I just apologize for my technical difficulties at the beginning. That's my final thought.
And Marcus, what's your final thought? And you can take us home.
So I'm surprised you don't have a final thought, especially with the one I'm about to give. But I want to wish Herman's daughter, Tiara, a happy belated birthday.
Hey, happy belated birthday! Yeah,
Happy belated birthday. Yeah, thanks, Marcus, for making me look bad now.
So before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Layer Game. We're on X at The Layer Game 3. We're on Instagram at The Official Layer Game and on TikTok at The Layer Game 91. You can also catch us on the Aboriginal Sports Network. So go on over there and check those guys out. Check us out on the Aboriginal Sports Network. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.